9. It's
I'm sorry.
showtime.
You scared me. You scared me.
I am pretty scary.
Oh!
I really am. I know. No. It's threat. I'm very threatening at my
no
size and stature.
No, that's not it at all. I'm in it. Yeah, I'm having a ball. Life is beautiful, and look at the two beautiful people in the chat already. Robin,
Hi,
Robin and Bob. Probably two of the coolest, funnest, people out there in the industry out there doing what they do. Bob and his love for the paranormal, Robin and her amazing. I tell you, there's so much that I love when Robin sends stuff, and I see, and if you don't believe in light anomalies and how they do in fact interact, then you haven't seen any of Robin's posts. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
So
you have not seen Robin's post. Jeff Conkle, folks. Jeff Conkle in the house. I'm speaking of amazing people, and the one, the only, the always funny with Jeff Conkle. What is up, Jeff? So see the show's already with. Look at the 3 rock stars right there, Bob and Robin and
there's more people. They're not in the chat.
There's more. Who's that right there? There's more.
Get in the chat.
Yeah. So what is so fun, folks?
Listen, I may or may not. Hold on, please. I may or may not. I have to cover. They didn't pay me to share this, but I have a lot of coffee left in here tonight. So I'm already sorry about how wound up I am.
You're wound up, and I'm just that always happy.
I've had a lot of coffee.
There you go. And I'm just that laughing guy all the time. My God, some things, I guess laughter is my therapy a lot in life and stuff. But hey, folks, speaking of fun stuff and things coming up, listen, we've had some really fun stuff going on lately, but guess what's coming up in October? Oh, that's right. It's that. What is it? Kids, what is it? Yes, it's what you think it is. It is the Warrens Paracon. Kelly. We talked about it. Listen, the rock show. It's lots of stuff coming up, and look at and
they're so what?
Yeah, and Jeff is so beautiful. I think he's talking about you, though. See, that's true. Now I'm a pickle bucket head. But anyway, yeah. So
we have a lot of fun things though coming up. We have the bash, and some of the people from the chat are coming to the bash. I hear.
That's true. I'm excited about that.
We have that.
Excited
in August.
In August, that's right. If you have not went out and looked at the site for the Warrens Paracon coming this October, who did we have on as a guest already? Who did we have on the show? Our last guest, folks.
Jeremy Leonard. Yeah, I just saw him this weekend.
Jeremy, that's right, you did. Jeremy Leonard, folks. We have already had some folks on there already. Oh God, Jeff, you monster, you. So anyway, yeah, but we had Jeremy. We have got some other folks, even as much or more beautiful, amazing guests coming from that rock show. So Absolutely. That is gonna be. Oh, what did I say? Rock show? Did I say rock show?
You did.
Woo! Guess what? Tonight.
I think they're ready. You got to.
Right. Jeff Conkle is in the house, and folks, when we talk tech, you can't help but bring up Mr. Jeff Conkle, right? Established rock star. We've had him on the show. What a great guy.
I think we should bring him on the show again.
That's true. We're going to because
tech is always evolving.
That's right. So. It's always evolving. Plus, he has a really cool friend that we'd love to have on as well.
Yeah.
Mr. Scott Grunwald. But folks, when you think of Jeff Conkle, you also think of another man. This guy, known in the business for what he does. I mean, if it's dark, he lights it up. He's been in contact with so many different, be it shows, be it events, be it you see him at the bash. You're going to see him this year at the bash.
And wait till you see his setup at the bash. It's amazing every year.
It's like a rock. It's like a rock concert too. I think I'll drool every time.
Yeah.
Toys.
Yeah. I know. So, every time I go by his table, it's full. so I can never like stop in and
it's full. There's people there. Oh, tell me about this. He's got to hear a million times at that back. What does this light do? Is it dark?
Yeah.
Can I see better? But
well, bring them on. We'll have them tell them what they do.
This guy is a folks. Without further ado, we bring to the show the one, the only Mr. Josh Bad Boy Woo Bender. The crowd
He
goes
warned you he
wild.
was going to do it, Josh.
I don't think I've ever had an introduction like that before.
You
That's
can
crazy.
buy it on iTunes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's on a roll, though.
He is.
But welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We have a bunch of people that are already familiar with your products and what you do in your business, but can you share for those who are not?
Sure. Do you want me to start at the beginning?
Oh, go take us all the way back. Once upon a time. Yes.
So, I started out in the paranormal back in 2004, 2005. And now that this is before I started, building lights and everything, it built up from there. I was with different teams. I've had my own teams, getting up to the point of where I'm at now. So, I've always messed with things, modifying, tearing apart, that kind of thing. But what got me to where I'm at now is actually I had a podcast. It was probably 6 or 7 years ago, and I had a guest, Justin Brown from Interface Death, and after that we kept in touch. He's a Bengals fan. I'm a Steelers fan, so there was some banter back and forth, and we just kept in touch and become friends, but we had never met. And we were having a conversation about lights, and he had this camera that had a really wide angle lens, and he's like, I don't have a light. There's no light out there that I've seen that can illuminate the whole view of this lens. So, I told him that I was tinkering around with some lights. I had built a few. I would send him some, and to see if that, if that would work. And the first couple were more of a standard flat face type of light, just something that I put together using project boxes and stuff like that. And they didn't quite do what he wanted them to do. So he gave me some suggestions. I went back to thinking about how I can improve this view of this wide angle lens camera. And so we decided that, well, what if we, curved the face of the light to kind of go out in different directions instead of just straight forward. So I thought of how to build this, and of course it's a long process. It still is quite a long process. But I started on this, and we were going to meet up at Higginsport School in Ohio. He had just filmed a documentary there. He wanted me to I offered to do some drone work for him, and for his documentary there and his team. And we met up, and I had the very first light built for him to try out. And I showed it to him, and he really liked it. But the process was, I was doing things in my living room, I was doing things in my kitchen, and I was doing things on the back porch. So everything was kind of spread out and kind of inconvenient because, I got to clean up each evening, dust from things and wire and just stuff slung everywhere. But so I present this light to Justin, and he really likes it, and he suggested that I should sell these. So at that point, it just kind of grew from there. So I had built another one for Derek. It was a little bit different, but it was still the Necro, the curved face light. And so I was starting to build this business, this company, and I figured, I'll build a couple each month. I'll get some orders in. It'll bring in enough money just to keep everything going. So I didn't have a name for it yet. So, and you'll hear Justin's name a lot because he is a huge influence on Deadlight and how it started and where it's going and where it is now. But I talked to him about, names and everything like that. And he came up with Deadlight. And Deadlight actually comes from, if you've ever seen the movie It, Pennywise, his original form is called the Deadlight. And that's where Deadlight came from. It's just spelled a little bit different. And we just put it together, and he made the logo. We put the catchphrase at the bottom, light up the night. And since he helped in the design of that first light, I let him name it, and he called it the Necro. And that's how how Deadlight and the Necro was born. Now I have one other light that I started out building by hand, just like the Necros, because the Necros are all built by hand. And it started out being handmade. Now it's the only production light that I have right now that is actually 3D printed. And we call it the Demon. It's just a little 10-watt light. And we called it the Demon because whenever you have it on, it's just 2 LEDs. It looks like 2 red eyes. So that's how that came about.
That's fun.
But since then, it blew up more than I could ever imagine. It was, me being the only builder, it's difficult to keep up. So for the longest time, I was, and even today, I'm not as far behind as what I was a couple of years ago, but, for 2 years, I was 7 to 7.5 months behind on orders. And, I just created a waiting list if people were willing to wait, and I never take payment when they order it. I always take payment when the order is ready to ship. So I build the light, it's tested, it's ready to go. Okay, here's your invoice. So it's never pay up front or anything like that. Because I know that, things can happen when, in that amount of time that you're waiting for these custom lights that, things can happen. Maybe something happens, your car breaks down, you can't afford, and whenever I message you a week or two before I start on your order, just to make sure it's okay, if they can cancel, they can tell me no, I changed my mind or this happened or whatever. I mean, that's fine. I put it in a drawer or I just go down the list. If somebody has one that's exactly like what they ordered, then, I can just go to the next person on the list. Or, I don't have very many display lights, especially now. I've actually, I try to keep some for displays, and I do have some that are specifically for display, and we use them on our investigations and stuff. But I don't have a lot to display right now. Hopefully I have time to build some so that I can display those at Gettysburg. That's the next event that I'll be at. But so yeah, that's, we're trying to create new things. We got some new things in the works. Justin has a prototype light right now that I recently built that we tested out at Indiana State Sanatorium. It's basically a video light. It's external power only. It was something that he specifically wanted, and it worked really well. It's has 4 LEDs. It's just a 20-watt, but it's all white LED. So it's good for like urban exploration, or if you don't film in IR, you can film, you film in white light. This is something that's really good. So we have some good footage of that. We did a lot of test footage and different shots at Indiana State Sanatorium, which is nice because it's a very large location. But so there's other things too. People come to me asking for custom things, and not just lights. There's other equipment. And at first I was kind of like, I don't want to I want to kind of focus on the lighting and that kind of thing. But I kind of went back and thought, maybe I can create some of this stuff. I don't want it to be so, more, like a gadget or, that kind of thing. I want it to have some kind of purpose. So I did build a couple things. And, my disclaimer is this does not prove paranormal. This should not work, or this, this should work this way. And if you still want to use this piece of equipment, then, I can offer it. So, I built something with some motion sensors, and somebody came to me and they wanted like a string of LEDs. And this was early last year, I believe. So I built this string of LEDs, and it has sensors down the hallway. So each string, there's 5 strings, and there's 5 sensors. So each string has its own sensor, but one power source. So you can walk down a hallway, and they trigger these sensors, and the LEDs come on, and you can set the timer. The timer shuts the LEDs back off, and I had to make it so that I had to make it. I don't know if you understand this or not, but I had to make it in parallel instead of series, because if I made it in series, then the first light would have to be on to activate the next one,
Right.
and so forth. So in parallel, we can activate the middle one or the one way at the end. It doesn't have to be in order like that. So there's like a test video I did that I just walked down the hallway. I had set up. I just walked down the hallway in the house and turned them on and everything. And it was really something that he was looking for, and he couldn't find anything like it.
We got a question in the chat room. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Bob Burnell, but very sharp guy, loves his tech, really, really great guy. His question is, Josh, do you make any camera IR light that can be powered by battery backup and is rechargeable?
So what I typically do is I actually have it right here. I provide now most of the lights that I build, well, actually all of them can have this capability, but I call it a dual power feature. So you can put, like, this is one of the demons. This is the first, this was the prototype printed demon that I have. So on the back, you have a magnetic battery cover. So you have a battery compartment, just like the Necros do. 2 18650 batteries. So you can power the light that way. Or what I also provide in the package deal are these external battery holders. Now these battery holders, they take 4 18650 batteries, and they have an 8.4 volt output and a 5 volt output. So you could hook up a rig, kind of like this one, this one over my shoulder here that I can show here in a little bit. But you can power like an action camera, a modified action camera, or a Zoom Q2N camera. You can power it with this 5 volt output, and you can power the light with this 8.4 volt output. So you could power, the light and the camera at the same time. And the other thing that these are good for is if you're setting up a static camera with a Necro or Demon or whatever you want to set up with your static camera, you put one of these, mount these, somewhere. It comes with a Velcro strap on it. You can mount it to your tripod, plug it into your light, and it will last almost twice as long as it does on running 2 batteries in the back of the light. So that is the way that they normally come. Now, typically, if somebody asks a question like what Bob did, I would get with him. We would talk about what kind of battery backup he uses, what kind of output voltage, output current that his backup battery has, and I can tell him whether or not that will work. But mainly, the Necros are made to run on 8.4 volt. And the Demons can run on 8.4 volt or 5 volt is what they're designed for.
And
so Bob, you basically have to message Josh, and he'll just make something just for you.
No, exactly. I agree. And folks, if you've been around the paranormal enough, and obviously heard of Josh, a guy like Jeff Conkle, another great guy in the biz, that is telling, Josh here on the show, man, nice, good stuff. We need to talk later on, even after the show. That's two really cool minds right there.
Mhm.
And that's how some of these things were born. And then we have the equipment we do. Investigating in the dark, folks, is just that. I mean, being a firefighter I have for over 30 plus years, we do our work in the dark, right? Smoke, can't see, your hand in front of your face. Well, these locations in the paranormal are the same way.
Mhm. You're freezing up there, buddy.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Anyway, yeah, but having this equipment is a must. So, what would you say is some of your most common stuff you get asked really either to build or the must go to stuff you have that's equipment, Josh?
Typically, the most popular light that I sell is the Necro Night Shot, and I have an old one here. This is actually my personal light, but this is a Gen 1, and I'm currently building Gen 2s. But this is the only one that I have right now. But this is a Necro Night Shot. So,
this is a family show. Really, you got so turned on by that light right now.
I'll be right back.
You know you're going to have whatever you show him, you'll have a message when we're done. And he's going to list all the items that he would like to purchase from you. So this show may just be for his benefit.
I just need to send him a blank check and say, look, I'm going to Ireland. I'm going to Ireland in July. We're going to be in some dark castles. Right. I'm going to need all kinds of stuff. So.
Yep. Okay, so carry on. Just his face,
so this light,
distracted.
The Necro Night Shot is probably one of the most popular, and this is 40-watt IR, and this your top and bottom row is IR, and your middle three normally they're white LEDs, so you have IR and you have white at the same time. So you can control this light in there's so much control over this light. So not only can you turn half of your LEDs off and just run 20 watts, so you're also you're saving battery power, but you're in a smaller area and you don't need as much IR. So you can cut off half of the LEDs, the IR LEDs, and you also have the intensity adjustment for the IR. So you can adjust the intensity, plus you can turn off your half of your IR. So the white, I saw that comment. So the white,
yeah, you dog.
And I actually, what I'll do is I'll put a couple batteries in here, and I'll show you,
folks. We get a lot. We get a lot. This is gonna do it right here. I'm gonna
hold on, everybody. Hold on. Yeah, and Greg, he is coming back to the bash, right, Josh? You and I talked. You are coming back to the bash this year.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If I can get this thing.
Hi, Pam.
Pam Berry.
Or
Pam.
Speaking of,
this thing's gonna make a liar out of me now. That's not good when things don't work. Well, I'll have to demonstrate another light. Let me try a different battery. Maybe they're dead. I bet you they're dead.
Folks, batteries die. It's not the equipment, folks. Trust me, it's batteries.
Yeah, if it's the equipment, I fix it for free. So.
Wes Coleman in the house. Wes Coleman.
It's good that you fix your own equipment.
Yes. But the white LEDs are 5 watt, 10 watt, or 15 watt. So you can turn on just one white LED, you can turn on 2, or you can turn on 3, and it also has its own intensity adjustment. So let's see if this thing works now. There we go. Now it's working. So you might not be able to see this. There you can see it. So you can turn half of them off. Now this one's a little different. I don't wire them like this anymore. This is a staggered pattern. I go straight across now. I found that works better. This one is an older one, but I can turn half of them off. I can turn them all off. There's the bottom part. But I make them so you can turn all the IR off so that you can turn the white on. So you can do 5, you can do 10, or you can do all 15. And then, of course, you can adjust the intensity of the
intensity.
Okay, I got to
say. Our buddy Kendall has a question for you, too. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it, Josh. It says, is there a spot intensity option for any of them?
Spot intensity. Can you elaborate on that? I'm not sure what he
intensity.
means.
Okay, in other words,
wait and see what he said.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe he means just one light at a time, like turning one light brighter at a time. But you said it's by row on yours, right?
Yes. So if you turn let me get this back working here again. This is an older one, so there we go. So you have this. So the one that adjusts the IR, so you can see it there, Justin, that adjusts all 8. So if you turn half of them off, it's only going to adjust all 4. So it's all connected. So it will adjust all of them, not just one individually. Now for the white, that's a little different because you can light up just one. So you can adjust the intensity on just one. But if you turn the other 2 on, you can adjust all 2 or all 3 of them.
Hey, Josh.
I hope that answers his question.
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
Folks, we got Kendall Welpton in the house, folks.
That's so awesome. I'm so glad.
Kendall.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, the light throws a spot you
throws...
can illuminate across the room. Yes.
Folks, if anybody doesn't know...
Oh, boy. You're freezing up again, buddy.
Who Kendall Welpton... Well, say that I think look up even to Kendall Welp. I mean...
Uh-oh. He's in and out.
Oh
you need some of my coffee, buddy. You're freezing up. You need some of my coffee. Kendall, he's singing your praises is what's happening. Okay. That's what's happening right now. We're only getting bits and pieces, but he's saying about how wonderful you are.
Is it better now?
Yes, now it's better.
Yeah, but okay, sorry about that. Yes, folks, but Kendall is a super great guy, man. So having him in the room, thanks for hopping in, Kendall. We appreciate it.
So Josh, how many different I mean, I know you said you do custom pieces.
So one of the things I wanted to ask is, you get an hour,
buddy. Hold on, please.
You get an opportunity a lot.
What?
Josh,
he's in and out. He's in and out. Okay, Josh, I'm going to finish my question to you. So, how many standard pieces do you have in your collection right now that you typically make for people?
So we have 4 versions of the Necros. So you have the 20 watt, the 40 watt, the Necro Night Shot, and the 60 watt. The 60 watt is 3 rows of IR, but it's 20, 40, and 60 watt selectable. The 40 watt is 20, 40 watt selectable, just like the Night Shot is. And the 20 watt is just, it's pretty simple. It's just 20 watts of IR. You have your intensity adjustment, and that's it. And then the Demon, it's not adjustable either. It's just an on-off switch. But typically, most cameras have a auto exposure where they just auto expose. So if you have too much light, it kind of backs off a little bit. So the Demons, it's okay for the Demon to, just put out full power because of the auto exposure and the time that it lasts. With the Necros, you can actually adjust that kind of thing. So if you adjust it up to where it auto exposes and just kind of dial it back a little bit, that's probably the best that you're going to get because of the camera, auto exposing. But that will also help save your battery power. Some people will just crank it all the way and just go, which is fine. That's, whatever they want, but that camera is going to auto adjust typically. Now I do, like I said, I was talking about the all white LEDs. I did make and these, the diffusers also, that's what, this is the magic right here with the Necro, because even though you have a wide array of IR, you're still going to have a little bit of a hot spot, not like right in the center, but you'll have, like if you're real close to a wall, you can kind of see the individual ones. Now you use this magnetic diffuser and almost dropped it, but
perfect. Yeah, that's
just
awesome.
magnets, and it just goes where it's supposed to. It's real strong. They're rare earth magnets. That smooths everything out. So that just illuminates everything. So when when he was asking about the, like the spotlight thing, the Necro is supposed to be like a wide angle light, and with the diffuser, it just smooths everything out and just illuminates everything. Oh, Kendall, no, there's no flicker on the lowest dim. Whenever you have it down all the way, there's no flicker at all, and you get full range of adjustment. It doesn't shut off when you get it real low. You can turn it down all the way, and I'll actually show you with this white one. It's a little easier to see. Just load this up here. Oh, and the battery compartment has a lid, and it's also magnetic. So we like magnets.
Yeah.
But this one is a 40 watt. It's just like the other Necros, but only this is all white LEDs. But we turn it on, we automatically get, and I have it upside down. It automatically get 20 watts, and then you have another button on the side here that will illuminate your other 20 watts, so you can get 40 watts. So this is your lowest right here, and there's no flicker, and then you have your full range. That's kind of bright, but you have your full range of intensity right there. It does not shut off. It doesn't flicker. That may flicker toward the end, like if your batteries start to go dead. They're lithium ion batteries. They're 18650s. So once they once they dissipate to a certain voltage, they'll start to die off. So there's times where I'll run test one, and I'll set it up and turn it on before I go to bed. And when I wake up the next morning, the batteries are basically drained as far as they'll go, but the light's still on. So it will still, to some point, put out a little bit of IR or white light, whatever you have me put in this. But it will, it lasts a long time. But it'll kind of dim down over time once it gets down to that lowest point there. Let's see, a good laser grid. I do not do laser grids. I've had people ask me that. I had somebody, actually a customer of mine that has become a good friend, and also probably has the most. He has more lights than I do. I think he has the most lights out of anybody. I think he's purchased 22 or 23 lights off of me, and he has me doing some other custom stuff too. But he requested a laser grid also. I have not done a laser grid yet. I am really close to getting caught up on orders, and I will be.
You know what that means, everybody? Message Josh after the show with all the things you want, right, Keith? Isn't that what that means?
Well, I'm already sitting here. I'm just kind of in trance.
He has a list. He started a list at the beginning of this, and it's just growing. Yeah.
I will actually show you this. This is a little sneak peek. This is
not again. I can't take it.
Yeah, this is a custom piece of equipment that I'm still developing, and the customer is so patiently waiting.
Jeff, here it is, Jeff.
But this, and you may not know it right away, but this is the face of it right here. It's kind of hard to see, but those indentations right there, those will be. You will have a this side motion sensor right here, and then a string of LEDs, so they kind of alternate. But it's a close proximity motion sensor. So you have to be within. It says within 6 inches. I got about 3.5 to 4, but you wave your hand in front of it. I've tried rulers. Now IR does set it off, so you have to be careful whenever you point IR at it. I guess initially it will turn it on, but it does. I have different colored LEDs. I have LED strings. I've done. I did one for somebody that would. He wanted blue, so I did blue. But this one's going to be a green one. But this is the first one that I've done. He's going to get the first one. So I'm still kind of developing it. And this one is a 3D printed version. But technically, if you leave that in a room by itself, you put a camera on it, leave a couple of recorders there, maybe a REM pod, something.
Yeah.
So that, if the motion sensor does kick, does trip, and the LEDs come on, maybe you have something else. Maybe you have a rim hit. Maybe you have an EVP or something like that to go along with it. Because technically, if you leave that in a room by itself, that thing should never turn on.
Well, I got a question though. The reason I always ask is because I always think of, how the folks are some up there. Well, what if there's a bug? Is this thing potentially going to be set high enough of its level of measurement that a fly or something doesn't come up or by it, and somebody could challenge and say, "Oh, well, that was a bug." And the reason I'm saying that is, if there was that possibility to say no, it's going to take something of really size to make this thing really motion go off and light up.
I'm not sure if a fly would set it off or not, but that's why you would have a camera with a a camera on it so that you would see that kind of go past, and if it triggered it,
test at the bash. I'm just asking.
I would.
I know a guy. I know a guy.
I'm going to be building I'm going to be building two of them at the same time, so I will have one for myself. So hopefully by the time the bash comes, because I'm still designing some things for it, so hopefully by then I will have a working prototype or product to release. Now I did something else.
I'm bringing a blank check. I'm telling you, because by the time I do it, I will have a suitcase and just said, "Let's load it up. Let's just make it happen."
Oh, John Harris, he did it. Yeah. John and I have already talked about this, and I've already developed one for Justin. Justin has a 60 watt, the very first one, and we call it the Franken 60 because it's been through so much transformation. There is so much stuff on that thing. I can't put any more on it. There's features that I offer that he can't have because it doesn't. I can't fit any more in it. And what he wanted was that 60 watt was for his camera rig. So he wanted a rear facing light because whenever we film, we have face cams. So we have like modified SJ cams that are facing us, and we have face lights that illuminate. They're very dim. All it's supposed to do is just illuminate your face, not blow it out or anything, but it's just supposed to illuminate your face. So I built one for him. It has an IR light on one side and a white light on the other side, but it's made to plug into his 60 watt light, and because he was using that on his camera rig, but now he uses a Demon, so he can't use that face light. He uses that 60 watt for a static camera. So I have to come up with another face light, and John was talking to me about a face light. So I just need to design that.
You got some fans in here, Josh. I'm sorry. You got
a fan club.
I'm like, oh my god, I have to click on it.
If you were not in love with Josh before, you will be as you leave the show.
Well, I have one more thing to show you. It's kind of secret. But Derek, he's also a member and good friend of mine. He's a member of Interface Death, but he's the tech manager on Interface Death. So Brandon, Damn It Bender, and I have Damn It Bender stickers because of Brandon. But Derek, he actually has the second Necro that I ever built, and I actually rebuilt that one. I put the Gen 2 stuff on it, and I put pathway lighting on it. And pathway lighting, Keith, I don't know if you've ever heard of this or not, but a customer had come to me, and he wanted 2 white LEDs on the bottom of his light. So that he could see, the ground or the floor, or, so you could see where he was walking. So you're not tripping over stuff. You're looking at this little view screen on your camera and not paying attention to anything else. And you trip over something, There's not always clear paths wherever you go.
We've talked about that before.
Yep. He wanted these white LEDs on bottom of his light so he could see where he was walking. So I did that, and then I kind of I decided to offer that, and that is also another popular feature that you can add to the light. And I do it in 2 different sizes. Yeah, see, he uses the pathway light, so all after he falls down. Yeah. But I do it in I have it in 2 sizes. There's a small LEDs. It's not very bright, but when you're in complete darkness, it's just enough to see. And then I have the large pathway that just illuminates the floor for you and everybody else that's around. But it doesn't affect your view in IR. It doesn't blind anybody because it's on the bottom of the light. So that's one of the cool features that I've added. And there's another feature too that I use. It's more for personalization than anything, but it's I started offering hydro dipped lights. So what I do is they can see. It just says Facebook user. I don't know. Oh, that's Brandon. But I've done a few of those now, but you can pick 2-3 colors and I will hydro dip them. And the thing is with hydro dipping, with using spray paint, is even you could use the same colors over and over again and you will never get the same light again, the same design or the same, because it swirls and you change the way you spray it, and it's always different. And it's always really cool because I have no idea what it's going to look like until I pull it up out of the paint. So it's really it's exciting for me. I like doing it. It's an extra step, but it's so, obviously when you have extra steps, you have extra prep, you have to charge extra. So there's an extra charge for that feature. But I've done quite a few of them now, and it's really neat. You can see them on my Deadlight page. I have some of those ones there, and I did some custom ones. I did one for a Marine veteran. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it was a olive drab green or military green light, but he wanted his logo on the back. So I put thanks, John. I really appreciate that. He wanted his logo, which is GI Paranormal. It was a skull with a military helmet, and it said GI Paranormal on the bottom, and you can see this on the page. But I changed the vents on the battery cover. I made them stars, and I put his logo on it, and you can see it was in flat black. And he also wanted it's a saying. Well, it's kind of instruction on a I forget what it is now, but it was like a mine. It was like a square thing, but it says front toward enemy on the front of it. So you would obviously point that, toward the enemy, which way you wanted it to explode. But so I put front toward enemy on it in flat black on the top of the light. And but yeah, he was really like that. So I do some custom stuff. Really the hydro dip is the only one so far that I have had to charge extra for. Yeah, the Claymore, that's what it was. The Claymore. I couldn't think of it. But Keith, I know you're waiting to see this. Let me slide over here.
Oh, geez. Wait, everybody. We got to go to commercial. We can't. I mean, he's going to add another thing.
We still have to do our
list of stuff is going to be
I'm just sending a blank check. I've got to be to where it's like, you know what?
Oh my!
Here's what I need. Here's what I want to do. Oh man!
And you still have to do. We still have to do our giveaway too.
Oh, yes, I know. We didn't even get to talk about that, but it's fine. I already figured it out. I'll let you finish, and then I'll interrupt. Josh, so while he's prepping here, has so generously offered to send one of the awesome listeners and watchers that's in the chat tonight some amazing gear from Deadlight. So he's going to send you some merch. You still have to order your lights, ladies and gentlemen. You still have to get online and order, but he's going to send you some amazing things. So hold for that. So I'll let him finish first before he. I know,
So-
Keith, you're ineligible, Keith. You can't win it this time.
No, please.
Maybe he'll give you a free gift after you order every single thing he creates. But
That's right. I'm sending a blank check. Fill it out.
So we'll
Jeff
give
says, here,
away.
please. Jeff Conkle says, here, please. Me.
We'll give away a
Oh,
we'll give
man.
away a hat and a shirt. Now the shirts are, you can get them, they're all black, but you can get them in green print, or it looks white, but it's also supposed to be glow in the dark.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
So and then the hat also, the hats, it's kind of like that.
Oh, I'm done. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting
real
with you on
nice.
that.
So the
one.
hats, they're nice flex fit hat. They come
Okay,
in two
yeah.
sizes. This one is glow in the dark
That's
stitching.
awesome.
They're embroidered, but they are glow in the dark.
Okay,
But I
I
also
will
have
be getting with you after that.
I also
That's
have
another added to my tab already.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they
Wendy's
also
like,
have
over here.
green stitching.
Everybody's hands raised.
Now hold on, everybody. We want to let him finish, but he's going to give it away. So just
Oh,
Yeah, so you can get glow in the dark or green. That's with
That's
the shirts
fantastic.
or the hats. But I do sell those. I do keep a small inventory of shirts and stuff like that. Thank you, Charlie. Charlie is he was a coworker of mine. He went to a different position, but we've stayed in touch, and he's a good friend.
oh man, hat, Buster Williams, hat. All right.
Was that was Brandon? Yeah, Brandon. I'm going to do the sunglasses that have the beard attached, so that you can.
Oh
So
yeah.
that you can do that.
Bring those to the bash, please.
Is Brandon the Facebook user?
Yeah, I can see it. I have it up on my phone.
I see Brandon who though. It says Brandon Johnson, I guess.
Yep, from Twisted.
Brandon.
Yep.
Brandon Johnson, you
Yep.
dirty little boy.
Take my money.
That guy is the funniest. I'm telling you,
Oh
his
my
stuff.
god.
Brandon
Yes.
Johnson in the house.
He is.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Brandon is not eligible. He's he does it all. This guy.
Well,
Pam has a
actually,
question too for you for your background there.
oh yes, I need to shout out before the end of the show. Oh, it's on this side. Why do I keep doing that? It's backwards. But I have some shout outs to do for the people who made these two fine pieces of art. I call them art because that's what they are. But
Artwork.
the people that build these. But I didn't know what you wanted to do next. You said you had to do a commercial.
No, I was teasing because
Oh, you
I
were
mean,
just kidding. Okay, good.
I can do one, but
No, let's not
Keith's
do one.
list is
No,
so
no.
long. So I was
Oh,
trying to
Lord.
make him take a break from listening
Oh.
about this.
So
I'm
Keith, I'm going to show
daydreaming.
you this, and I built this specifically for an experiment, and
Stand by, Jeff. Stand by.
this is it's so simple. It's so very simple, but we're still working on it. This is just a prototype. Excuse me, but we haven't tested it yet.
Jeff Conkle. Here it is.
So I'm gonna show this to you, and you just
Oh.
so just keep in mind
Holy Grail.
so
Holy
very
Grail.
simple. Very simple. All this does is monitor battery voltage. You put batteries in the back. This monitor is 18650s.
Yep.
I have one up here that I'm still working on.
Okay.
To monitor AAA batteries, AAAs. This is so simple, but simple. Let me see. Yeah. So this one here, I had to put an LED light in this.
Look at Jeff Conkle. Jeff Conkle goes, mine.
So this button here, this one here just powers the monitor. And then this one here will actually turn on so that it starts monitoring. So that we just have an analog gauge right here that monitors battery voltage. And I don't know if we can see there. That's not too bad right there. But it has a timer on it. It monitors voltage, capacity, current, all kinds of things like that. So what's this for? Is now
it
this
doesn't
one's
matter. Keith wants it. It doesn't matter
So
what
no.
it's for. You can answer that however you want, but Keith already has it. It's going to be in the next message.
So this one's pretty simple. You actually have to put a camera on it and actually monitor it. But the concept was to monitor battery drainage. So I know a lot of people have experienced battery drainage. Whether it's camera gear, anything, microphones, recorders, anything like that. Now, the hard thing to kind of get is it can be anything. What if you're monitoring voltage on this thing, but your camera battery that's monitoring it dies? It's kind of hard to capture. But what we're looking to do is possibly make it a data logger, so that
Oh my God.
so that it records those events. So if it does kill those specific batteries, it will log it, and then hopefully, ultimately, you'll be able to take that SD card out and throw it on Excel and get it to
Right.
plot everything.
Do you see
out.
Keith right now? He's
see,
wiping
I'm
the
sitting
drool.
here.
Did you see his face? He's wiping the drool over there.
No, I didn't know. Like, I didn't know it was done before. Somebody pointed out, I think it was Bill Davis, that it was done on Ghost Adventures before. I didn't know that. Now, Justin, this is Justin's experiment right here. So he's like, okay, I want to do this experiment. Let's it would be cool to have this. So I start researching. I was like, okay, how can I build this kind of thing? And if no ideas come up, then I start looking into things. So, I have people that are helping me almost every step of the way. So I have, Justin comes to me with ideas. He's like, hey, you think you can build this? So I start looking into it. And he wanted to, a lot of people experience battery drainage, and we all know Kenny Biddle. Well, I reached out to Kenny Biddle, and I had him at the last bash. I had him come over, and I was like, take a look at the equipment that I build. I mean, it does exactly what I say it does. Give me your honest opinion. And he really liked the lights and everything, and how they were built and stuff. So I went to him with this battery meter. I was like, hey, we have this idea, this experiment that we want to do. I actually asked him if he had done any videos or had any shows or had any literature that he was part of that that talked about battery drainage, because Kenny, he's skeptic. But he still goes on investigations. He still tries out equipment, stuff like that. But so I showed him, what I was building, and he would like to try one out. So
Nice.
I've been having some printer issues off and on. So this is a 3D printed part. It takes about 37 hours to print everything for that battery meter, and I'm pretty picky. So if something doesn't come out right, then it gets tossed and I got to print another one. But so I'm working on one of those for him to try out, and it's very basic.
Custom decorative ideas for his, I have a whole bunch.
Oh,
he likes things that are bedazzled, so maybe you can do your hydro dip first, and then we can put a bunch of really attractive rhinestones on the front before you mail it to him.
Does he really like bedazzled stuff?
Yeah, you can tell him that I suggested it, and he would be fine with it. Yes.
I know he really likes rum.
Yes, we could put that logo on too. I think cool with that. Yeah, for sure. So that's everybody is going to want one of these too, from what I see in the chat. Yeah.
So do we have? I mean, are we able to go over an hour?
Yeah, we can go over.
Okay, because I still want to. We still have to do the giveaway, and I do want to give some shout outs.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So I'll go ahead and do these shout outs, but like I showed earlier, it's like this cool Mothman mug
cool.
I got. Really cool. I actually purchased it from. I'm not sure if all of you know Dave Spinks. Dave Spinks. He actually has his store. Dave Spinks World of Weird. I could be wrong. That's close. But if you look him up, he'll have the thing on there. But he has a store in Richwood, West Virginia, which is only about 45 minutes from me. Mm-hmm. So I went up there, and of course I had to support his business. But he has some really cool stuff, and it's constantly growing. There's all kinds of books. There's video. There's like DVDs. There's shirts. There's Bigfoot stuff. There's all kinds of things up there. It's really neat. So, but that's one of my shout outs there. But it's a really cool Mothman.
I've heard his store is amazing. I haven't been there yet, but I've heard it's amazing.
I went to the grand opening, and then went to his event that he had. Of course, we had a freak snowstorm, and it was kind of slow that weekend, but it was still cool. I still got to talk to some people that I didn't know. I met some good people, and it was really cool. But so this next one, this is a giant pumpkin.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is made by Darren Smith. He is one of the, I guess you could call him a curator or a tour guide, but he is part of Old Licking County Jail in Newark, Ohio. He builds a lot of like haunt props and stuff like that, and he handmade this pumpkin, and cool. Jess had got it for me for my birthday, and so Derek, he 3D printed the glow in the dark Deadlight logo in the mouth, and then Darren put it all together. But he handmade that. He made it from nothing.
Oh wow!
It's a really cool process to see. And this other one is also from another volunteer or curator, tour guide at Old Licking County Jail. But this is a long gone doll. And let's see, Terry Long. I'll show this up here. But this is her business card. This is Long Gone Dolls. Check out her Instagram. It is really cool. She does some fantastic stuff. And so, of course, like I said earlier, this is Deadlight came from it was named after Pennywise. So I wanted kind of like a mascot, but I envisioned like a female doll, not a male doll, but it's kind of resembles Pennywise, but I made it a female and I named her Penny. So this is
oh my gosh,
my 6th grade high school teacher.
This is a porcelain doll, and of course she has a.
You can't say those things out loud, Keith.
I think she's long. I think she's long gone too.
Look at the logo.
She has a balloon, but she's she kind of resembles Pennywise. She has a little canvas. Well, let me see. It's hard to get to that camera, but the canvas shoes. But the distressed clothing and stuff, just really cool. It adds to my display. And she has black light activated face paint and eyes. So her eyes are. But she has some really cool pictures of her dolls on Instagram under Long Gone Dolls. But that's that's Penny.
Oh my gosh! And you're gonna have those items at the bash too for people to see up close?
Yeah, last year at the bash, I Penny and the pumpkin were part of my display, and I just got Jess her own Long Gone doll. It's a boy in knickers and all the jacket and old style clothing and stuff, and he actually has eyes that follow you.
Oh my goodness!
It's pretty
Wes. Yep. No.
And his,
you thought I was bad. There's Wes. You, man, you.
This is what we're all laughing at, everyone. This is.
We're
all laughing at.
We're laughing at Brandon Johnson, but if you haven't met Wes, he'll be fun. Oh. So it's come to that time of the show.
Okay, but hold on, one more thing. Okay, never mind. You can do it next. Okay, so you want to do that time? You want to do that time of show? We're going to do that. Yes. We're going to jump there. Okay. So since the show was propelled by the amazing questions and comments that we got in the chat, I would like you, Josh, if you don't mind, to ask a question, any question related to something you said. And then the first person in the chat who answers it correctly will be our winner. And then whoever wins can message me their address and I will get the prize out to them.
Okay.
You can pick anything talked about and ask a question and they'll answer. So everybody get ready because the first
It's
person
gonna
who
go
answers
fast,
is
folks.
the winner
Yep.
of the merch.
Look at the
So,
winner.
Yeah,
It's gonna go fast.
that's right.
Let's see. So this will be. So we want to give away the hat or the shirt first.
Oh man.
Give away the shirt. Make the hat last.
Okay, so the shirt you have your choice of. The only thing I don't have is green print in a small. I have at least one of all the
Josh,
other
there's not very
sizes of
many
that
very
stuff.
smalls in the paranormal. Have you ever been? Not very many smalls out there.
I do try to have them because I sold one because I had one small one and it's gone. So
Yeah.
but it's green or glow in the dark, whichever size. I think I have up to 3X. So let's see.
All right, are you ready,
Question.
everybody? Are you
Are we
ready?
ready?
Here we
The
go.
first person who answers gets their choice of shirt, which is very awesome that you even get to choose. So, all right,
So
John.
and there are some that aren't eligible, like Brandon Johnson, because
Forget it, Brandon. Not happening, Brandon.
because Twisted is a sponsor of Deadlight, and they get swag. So
That's
so
right.
he can't win one. So
You just get
so
gummy
please
bears,
don't answer first.
Brandon.
Yeah, we need to talk to it about this show being a sponsor or something.
That's right. Yeah.
Talking tech.
So here's the first question. So who was the person that helped name the company and the first light that I built?
Who was it, folks?
Okay.
He said it. He said it.
Can you repeat it one more time?
Who was the person that helped name the company and the first light that I built?
Oh, now are you taking both answers from the same person or one answer at a time?
Missy is not eligible. Derek's not eligible.
Derek's answer isn't correct. I don't.
That is not correct. That is not correct. And it was not Gary Coleman.
Oh, now wait a second. How about John Sullivan? Is he allowed to answer?
John Sullivan? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
He has an answer. Let's put it up here. Oh, no, wait, that's John. No, wait, the answers are coming in. Sorry, everybody. How about this one?
That is correct.
No.
And Pam's not eligible either because that's my mom, and she's gonna get a free shirt anyway if she wants one.
Sorry, Mom. I thought I was going to let you enter, but sadly, your son said no.
So is it John Sullivan?
John Sullivan.
Was he the first one?
He was the first one that was eligible.
Awesome. And John can message me with his shirt size because actually this here the motion sensor thing that I'm building. So this is his team right here. FPRI. Okay. So this is the one I'm working on. This is he's going to get the first one. So
awesome.
So he can message me.
Yeah,
he can message me personally and tell me what size he wants, and I'll get that.
Okay, now we've got the hat, folks. The hat.
So we need a hard question for the hat. Right?
We do. That's the one where you got to really been locked in on that one.
And if you guys can think of a difficult question, so that we don't have to take so long.
So you don't have to take so long.
Yeah, because if I try to think of a question, I'm like, oh, that's too easy.
Have to do right? Yeah.
Okay. So, what was the inspiration for Josh for Deadlight?
Keith, you might have to say it again just to make sure everybody.
So, what was the inspiration for Josh and Deadlight? There was a certain movie.
Oh,
Robin, she nailed it. That is the answer. It's true.
Robin, you were quiet.
And Robin, I will tell you, was the very first person that from the second the show barely eked on that was there. So well deserved, no doubt. But folks, fear not, don't cry. I am a little bit inside.
So these hats, they have two different sizes. So you have a small, medium, and you have a large, extra large. So if Robin, she'll have to let you know, get you the address and let me know if you want glow in the dark stitching which shows up white, or the green stitching, and what size hat.
So so let me
Message me, Robin. Let
hey
me
let
know,
me
and I'll try to pass
I gotta tell you something. So I am gonna go with something, and I've got to do
Randy.
this real quick. So
Funny.
technically, to be fair, technically, because of my vagueness and the way I did that, okay. So there could have been either way, two answers, and the other one was it the movie It, correct, with Pennywise?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so technically Jeff Conkle is also. So if there is, it was Pennywise.
Well, I'm sure. Yeah.
So
I'm sure that you two will talk after the show is what I was gonna say.
So
So let's give
Jeff hit it with it also, the movie It, and Pennywise was a character in the movie. So after review of the play, we realized we could accept both answers. Repeat the downs. First down.
So we'll give Robin a hat, and let's also give Jeff his choice, either a hat or a shirt, whichever he would like.
Jeff, what's your choice, buddy?
Let's do that too.
Because it did.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so much fun. Well, you can. I'm sure you'll talk. So even if he didn't see or hear what you said, I'm sure he'll message you anyhow afterward. There were a lot of comments for you to reach out to him too. So
okay.
And we also have a bunch of things that we're going to be bringing with us to different events, buddy, right? To give away.
We are. So I see your comment, Wes, and I'm going to get with Josh after the show. So anyway, folks, indeed, we got a lot of things coming up. They're going to be amazing. But I want to have people. How do they get a hold of Josh Bender? I mean, how do they? They're out there. They're going. Let's make something happen. How do I get a hold of Josh Bender?
So either my personal page or preferably on the Deadlight page. You can message me on there. I don't have a website. Everything goes through the Facebook page, through Messenger. So all of the ordering and everything. So I get to personally speak to every person that places an order.
So that's pretty cool stuff, folks. That is super personal. When you're getting the guy, how many times you went with somebody and they said, let you talk with so-and-so, and you never hear back. You're waiting. So that's cool stuff. The guy who makes the stuff, he's kind of an all-around guy. So that's super cool. And if you're coming to the bash, you get your opportunity to meet the man who's so well known in the business. So come on down, make your way around. He's usually in that back part of that room. Josh,
well, and I don't think that you sit down the whole bash. Like every time I walk by your table, there are people lined up to talk with you. And so I'm just like, and then I keep going because I think it's amazing. Like your setup is awesome. People can come see your gear up close.
Thank you.
Check it out. And everybody who's going to be a first timer at the bash that's in the chat, or those who decide to come, make sure you go to his table.
I'll have some swag for sale there too.
Fantastic.
And Keith, I'm sorry, I forgot about one other thing. I don't know how many people still use K2 meters, but I did have somebody come to me and ask about making these, so I come up with my own version.
Keith, get your pen.
This is
write it down. Add it to the list.
So we have a K2 meter here. So when you set them down, you can't set them down. You got to set them down flat. So I made a stand for one. Still, again, very simple. So you put it in the stand, and it has you can set it right there.
Awesome.
But there's more.
There's more stuff.
So you can slide this out, and this one doesn't have it yet. And obviously it's for Twisted Paranormal. This is one of theirs. But you can put it, there'll be a tripod adapter on there, so you can put it on a tripod.
Awesome.
So again, very, very simple. It just, it just slides in place right there. And
that's awesome. And so Brandon Johnson, that's your prize that you're paying for initially, but that's your prize.
It does say Deadlight on it, but it is
that's awesome
for Twisted. I can put if it's simple enough, I can do I can put logos on things.
Oh.
So, but I wanted to show that
Well, do you
Keith
think
is-
you'll have more of those at the bash too? Because I think
You know, I hope so. We'll see how it goes. Because I'm and I forgot to mention this before, but I also work full time. I work overtime sometimes, and it slows me down. But I'm also building a new shop. This will not be, this is like a little closet. This is a 9x11 room. I'm building a new shop outside, in the driveway. I have a new building, and I'm also working on that. I actually took vacation this week so that I could try and get the shop. Yeah, I have the wiring done. I'm ready to start insulating the walls. So hopefully by the end of the week, I will be ready to start setting up the shop. So I'm also working on a lot of things.
So hopefully, fingers crossed for everyone who has a list. You just have to send it to him as quickly as possible after the show.
Yeah, very, very fun show. I agree with Wes for sure. So can you hang out in the Rockstar Green Room backstage?
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you, Josh, and we'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay.
Well, as you can tell,
mind blown. And guess what? For anyone who wants to purchase Keith a Christmas present, he will post the list of things that he wants from Josh and Deadlight on our show page. And you can, no, I'm just kidding. We don't, it was a joke. But I'm sure that the list is probably pretty long after all of that. Are you frozen, Keith? Are you frozen? Oh, boy. Well, everybody, I don't know.
I know.
He may be. There you are. Are you back?
It froze up again. Yeah, we're going to have to address that coming up. So, folks, coming up, another great show coming up in a couple weeks. In a couple weeks. But big stuff coming up, folks, at the end of the year in October.
That's right.
It's the Warren's Paracon. We've talked about it. We're going to continue to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Every show, every time, and even advertising. Folks, that's going to be a great event with a lot of people at it. We know the bash is coming up as well. That's going to be super cool. That's in August. And then come October is the Warren's Paracon. So if you want to come have a good time and be, entertained.
Come hang out with us. Yeah.
Like a rock concert. It was last year. It was off the chain. It was huge. There were thousands and thousands of people, literally, like more than I've ever seen it. I've ever been to. So super cool event. So I will tell you, what a show, what a great time, how much fun. A little
make sure to stuff, check out. Yeah, make sure to check out Josh's Facebook pages and follow Deadlight, his technology page. Just check out if you go to the bash or any event that he ends up going to, just make sure that you stop by his table, because seeing the items up close, I'm glad he showed so many on here, but seeing them up closer, it's really amazing. If you can even get to his table.
Jeff Conkle, you got it. We want you to be there too. Come on out and come to the show. I mean, what a cool thing to get to have. And we even had Kendall Welton in the show as well. So you got a guy from Ghost Adventures. You got a guy from Ghost Hunters. And then you got Josh Bender, 3 collective amazing minds. So the bash, that would be even more cool to get to have that. So that we'd love to have you there, Jeff. Come rock it. So folks, without further ado, we love you. Every week we tell you, we thank you for coming and hanging out with me and Kelly and putting up with her, putting up how Kelly puts up with me is like, it's like
all the coffee, friends.
It's all the coffee. Putting up with me is a shenanigans, but I try to make Mondays fun again, right? If we don't make Mondays fun again, we never will. So we love you. We mean it. 2 more weeks, you get to come back.
That's
have
right.
Have fun with another amazing guest.
And have a beautiful night, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Love and light.